It's one of those rainy days in my neck of the woods. It's very rainy. Very rainy and crappy. I'm drinking some coffee. I get the Cafe Bustelo, which is ground in an espresso. And I use honey and half and half. I don't usually drink it with cream in it, but I get there's a farmer's market from Central Florida Farms. There's some beekeepers I get honey from that are pretty nice. My the guitar shit is I don't know. I want to play, but I gotta wait. Maybe in about 20 minutes I'll play, but I don't know. I guess I do better when I'm just playing guitar, because I'm not real good at speaking. I guess a lot of people feel that way. I don't have Wi-Fi here either. There's broadband, but can barely load a page with a PDF on it, or with a. It's really bad. So I'm just gonna sit here. Kind of using. I'm paying a weekly rent to a friend of a friend for a couple weeks until I can get up enough to move somewhere where I have like freedom, autonomy, the right to do the things I want to do. She's got 5 cats. One of them's a little tiny black cat. Very mischievous. I was playing the Star Spangled Banner yesterday, and she interrupted me. She demanded my attention to tell me she was throwing something in the trash. Can't you see? I have this guitar in my hand, and I'm playing, and I don't need to know that you're throwing something in the trash. Can't you see? My hands are full. A few months ago, I was busking, and I had this little tiny Fender amp, and it didn't work out well. It sounded like garbage. And this drunk guy walks by, and he goes, "Hey man, you got a light?" And I'm playing. I don't know what I was playing. I looked at him, and I'm playing. I didn't stop playing. He said, "Do you have a light?" And I just kept playing, and I was looking at him like, "Why don't you move along?" And I just kept playing. He was like, "Fuck you." And I was like, "Wow. So you want me to stop playing and give you a light?" Well, yeah, I'm smoking, which is against YouTube's terms of service. I guess nobody's going to show up. Shows you what my channel's doing as far as viewership pretty low on the totem pole. Not even my referee has come in. Maybe they've been reassigned to somebody. I don't know. I changed my channel name because I wanted to, I don't know, change my channel name and have my name in there. Because I take ownership of what I do on this channel. I take responsibility for it fully. I don't want to it's everything that's on this channel is something that I have created or disseminated and put together, taken different things and put them together to make something new. I really try to be respectful when I use other people's music, no matter who they are. And I don't know. The playlist of unauthorized video editing, I think, is a good example of that. Van Halen, Rammstein, Creedence Clearwater Revival, a lot of different things. You're like, how can you like Van Halen and Rammstein? It's easy. It's easy. I don't see why it's so complicated. Maybe you don't know enough about music. I don't know. I think they're both very sincere. That's all that matters. And they're very talented. And always go down as two of the best bands in the world, in my opinion, Rammstein and Van Halen. They're completely different on the spectrum. But you have in between, you have all these other bands that were influenced by them, or they were influenced by them. Like Van Halen was very influenced by big band music. And if you listen to the song Hot for Teacher, that has got a groove in it. It's a big band groove, a swing groove. That is something that people don't know about. They love it, but why do they love it? Because it's part of a tradition. And here, with Rammstein, you have all these other bands, including Van Halen, like Judas Priest, and all these other different types of music that these people in Rammstein listen to. You have the Van Halen brothers, whose dad was a jazz musician, and on this side, you have Rammstein, and what they listened to in the 80s, coming up to 1995 when they formed Rammstein. So that encompasses a lot of music. It encompasses big band jazz, heavy metal, rock and roll, blues, gospel even. There's a lot of gospel influence in Rammstein, believe it or not. But this is just Greek. This is just music philosophy. Maybe I'll just call this music philosophy, or music philosophy according to Daryl, whatever. And I'm not mad today. I'm perfectly fine. Just talking to the camera. In a couple of weeks, I am going to create a StreamYard account where I'll pay monthly. Then I'll be able to have guests on, and they can cuss me out and make fun of me, or we can discuss this music. Now, that's not the limit. There's a whole lot more. Talking Heads. Okay, you have Willie Nelson. Okay, you have Blondie. Okay, you have the Sex Pistols. Okay, I like all those people. Missing Persons, Alan Parsons Project, um, even Night Ranger. Yeah, I like Night Ranger. Winger. I don't know. She's only 17. No. That guy running around and jumping around with his lycra spandex pants with the. It's really the way he's jumping around with that Spectre bass. It's kind of weird. I don't know. Nobody's here but me. Nobody's going to watch. You are doomed. Good evening, morning, whatever time zone you're in. Hello. Oh, Denise. Hi, Denise. I'm glad. I'm glad to see you. You're one of my few mods. Hey, Sweet Leaf. I was talking about Austin, Texas. I love Austin. You know I love Austin. I played some gigs there in the late 80s. It was fun. I can't remember whether it was 1987 or 1988. I think it was 1987. We played at a place called The Raven, or was it the... Yeah, it was The Raven. It was a club on the main street where all the bars are in Austin. And we played 4 shows there over the course of a week. And by the second night, we had the place packed. And the band was called Interval. We were a guitar on me and bass and drums. That was it. We didn't have a lead singer at the time. So I was also singing. Yeah, exactly, on 6th Street. Yeah. I met this great girl. We went to Mount Bonneau. I don't know if... Is it called Mount Bonneau? It's like this park with a high kind of mountain in Austin. We made out on a picnic table. Bonnell. All right. Mount Bonnell. I can't remember her name. Damn it. Why can't I remember her name? I mean, I wrote her a letter and stuff in like the early 90s. I really missed her. All right. Thank you. I love Austin. Back then, I really loved Austin. What I really liked was the crowds, the people that love music. That's really valuable. People that love, a lot of places in this town, in Cocoa Beach and Cape Canaveral, these venues are having what's called live music. They're having a DJ. Okay, a DJ. And they're calling that live music. Something wrong there. It's pre-recorded music being played by another person. Words, if all you have is words, what good is the meaning? I mean, the structure and the point of communication is truth. You can't... It's like words don't mean what they used to mean 10 years ago. So in 20 years, live music, I don't know. What will it be? It won't even be.
Power off.
Well, electronica, I got really into synthesizers. I'm glad you brought that up. I got into synthesizers as a kid because my mother worked with a lot of keyboard players who had Mini Moogs and ARP 2600. The ARP 2600 synthesizer was a keyboard and a patch bay. It looked like an operator's patch bay, and you could make sine waves like pink noise, white noise. You could had sample and hold, and you could make all these really cool sounds. And I got into Wendy Carlos or Walter Carlos from the score of The Shining. If you look at the film The Shining, depending on the print of the film, Walter Carlos was now Wendy Carlos, and that doesn't hamper me up at all. But I'm talking about the music that this person made was extraordinary. His synthesizer. Now, electronica, there is electronica that is garbage, and then there is good stuff out there. Now, there was a person named Philip Glass, like in the late 70s, early 80s, put out this ambient electronica that was just astounding. Then you have also Art of Noise, who created all their samples, and they were classical orchestra musicians, and they had some hits. One of their songs was in Ferris Bueller's Day Off, I think, and some of their music was used in The Naked Gun, the Police Squad movie. But I love electronica. I love a lot of it. Then again, there is crap. I played with a band in 2003. I didn't know who they were, but there was this big thing going on at Full Sail, which is a school for studio recording degree, video game design, filmmaking in Winter Park, Florida. And there was this party going on that I was invited to, and I jammed with these two guys who were playing samplers and keyboards, and I jammed with them, and that was the Crystal Method. And I didn't know who they were. And we jammed for like 45 minutes, and it was just, I wish somebody had recorded it on a VHS camcorder, and I don't know what happened to it. But this guy, I don't remember who it was, that he was like, hey, we should do something together. We should record something. And I yeah. They had a record called Vegas, and some of the music was used in the movie 3,000 Miles to Graceland, which is a pretty action-packed. It's about a robbery during the Elvis weekend in Las Vegas, and everybody's dressed as Elvis, except of course, the security guards and the cops. But 3,000 Miles to Graceland. The beginning of the movie is CGI of these two scorpions fighting each other. And when the movie started, I was like, is this the right movie? And I don't know what those scorpions had to do with the plot of the movie, but it was a cool intro. These two scorpions are fighting each other, and one of them wins, and then he is crushed by a car tire, and that is the main character, Kevin Costner, who claims that he's the son of Elvis Presley. And that was the point of the movie, that he was the long-lost son of Elvis Presley, and who was also the mastermind of this robbery of a casino in Las Vegas. It has Christian Slater in it, Bokeem Woodbine, a lot of really good actors, and it's a hell of a movie. It's pretty damn cool. I liked it. I thought it was really good. But electronica music, it has a lot of space in it, and if you are tasty, if you're tasty with your guitar playing, you can accompany it and play the chords and blend in with the rhythms, and then there's a spot where you can play a solo, and you can use the panchromatic resonance of all that beauty, of all the possible notes that are not played by other instruments in the song. You can express something in there. You can say, hey, well, I'm just blah, blah, blah. That's why I like a lot of electronica. Ambient. Philip Glass was a little bit more ambient, somewhat electronica. And Carlos did a record called Sonic Seasonings, and it was a 2-record set, and each side was a season: winter, spring, summer, fall. And the winter one was, I don't know if it's on YouTube somewhere, but man, yes, Philip Glass. Uh, Now, there was some music that was used in the movie Birdie. The movie Birdie with Nicolas Cage and I think is it Tim Robbins? But it's about this guy who was in combat in Vietnam, and he is traumatized. He before he went to Vietnam, he loved birds and he had pigeons, and it's about this friendship between Nicolas Cage and him. And there's music in the movie that is by Peter Gabriel. Yeah, they're not their algorithmic counting of viewers is not accurate. I think that in lifetime, the servers don't really pick up and deliver the facts, but I'm sure they deliver the facts to the right people. It's not important that we know, especially even the person that's putting the show on, right? It's all right. I expect so little from YouTube after 14. Wait, April, it'll be 15 years. I think I'll do something special in April for my 15th anniversary on YouTube. I wonder what it'll be. It's good to have you, Denise and Sweet Leaf, in my chat. So if you caught what I was talking about Rammstein and Van Halen and all the music in between them, I mean, if you listen to the rhythms in Van Halen songs, like Dance the Night Away, that is a very Caribbean, it's got a section in the center where Eddie does the tapping, and it's like a Caribbean kind of island groove. There weren't any rock bands that were pulling out a Caribbean groove then. That just doesn't happen. That's so virtuoso. That is a beautiful thing, you know? And at the time when Van Halen 2 came out, I was like, oh, that's very commercial. That's for the radio. And it was, but it is a song I really love because it's a very happy song. Duality is very important. The dark and the light is very important. You have to have both. You can't get rid of both. Well, if you get rid of one, then there's no contrast. That's what I like about music and film is contrast. Contrast and nuance is everything to me. If there is no nuance and it's just black and white, then it's very boring. Then there's no thought. It's all this or it's that. I disagree with that. There's more of this and that happening more and more today. The television is making people say, it's this, it's not that. They're trying to change thinking. And the way they're doing this is by removing nuance. Nuance, it takes thought, it takes energy to deal with nuance. And if people are becoming intellectually lazy, nuanced thinking goes away. In 20 years, you're going to have people that are graphene oxided, walking around in 6G or 7G in a sea of ones and zeros of margarine, an oil of Wi-Fi. And it's just going to be, oh, why does my pancreas hurt? Why am I sick? Why did everybody die at 25? Yeah, doublespeak. They're really trying to change definitions and words' meanings. the neoliberal agenda could be stopped, but it's not going to. Yeah. Frequencies. I have a song called Frequency. It's got doves in it. And it was pretty accidental how I made the song Frequency. And when I made the song, I recorded it with my friend Norman in 2006. And I had already had a recording of these doves. I took a cassette recorder and put it in their cage and recorded them. And I don't think I've ever heard since a dove laugh. But in the song, you can hear a dove go, it's the coolest thing. But see, I know that birds live on frequency. I know that frequency is really what they tune into. A bird can tell, animals can see your aura, they can sense it. I know that from personal experience. This is not something somebody told me to say. It's just that I know that animals live on your aura. They don't live on it. They identify how you feel by the color of your aura. Yeah. Well, I know that roaches see that black and they don't want to deal with it and they try to run. Every single roach. I can't stand palmetto bugs. They terrify me. They're disgusting. I don't know why. Maybe it's something in a previous life. I was a penguin and I was a wolf. I know that. I know I've been a penguin and I've been a wolf. I think it's a privilege to be a human being because of all the senses you have and the thoughtfulness you can have. The capability of human beings is great. We have great capabilities. However, the powers that be don't want you to know that. They don't want you to know that you only use 10% of your brain. They don't want you to know this and that. I can't make you a mod, Sweetleaf, because I could only have 5 mods. I have less than 5,000 subscribers, so I can only have 5 mods. I made all my mods in a live stream about a month ago or 2 months ago. Everybody that came in, I made them a mod because I liked them anyway. But if you see one of those bots just come in, or I'll zap them. I'll do this for a little while longer. I hope I'm not boring. I really don't. I guess the fact that you're still here, it must not be boring. But I'm pontificating. I'm just talking about music and some of the things that I think are important about being thoughtful. Let's see. I was watching this video of people coming out of the movie Schindler's List in 1993. It was in Germany. And someone in the comments had transcribed into English what the people said. And oh, I know you weren't. Oh, well, I can't make more than 5, looks like. But in the comments, I commented that this is going to happen again. And people fail to see it. A lot of people fail to see it. And I was just warning people. And I got all these replies like, how can you compare people today to that? And I was like, I wasn't. I don't know. Denise, did we meet in a, I think, do you watch the Show Me Baby? The Show Me Baby? Matt? He's one of my favorite YouTubes. He really, also Bubba 008 009. Oh, okay. Well, you should check out the Show Me Baby. MEBBY. The Show Me Baby. Oh, okay. All right. Well, I think he's great. Oh, wow. Hey, what's up? Enjoy. Thank you. Thanks for chiming in, Roman. I'll just call you Roman. Is that okay? Retro Roman. Yeah, no, that's great. I subscribe to your channel. Um, in about a month, I'm going to get a pay StreamYard, so that way I can have people on and we can actually commiserate. But I happen to believe that the SS and the the uh, the Nazi army did what they did. You know, if the numbers are here and there and there and here, I don't know. I know from family who were in World War II, um, the devastation. Not because I saw it in a documentary, but I did. I must have been probably 13 or 14. PBS showed a film of I think it was Dachau or one of these camps where they were bulldozing these bodies, and it freaked me out. It freaked me out really bad. I remember looking at the TV, and what freaked me out was seeing the bodies being pushed, and they were moving from being pushed, and it freaked me out. I mean, I'd already seen Dawn of the Dead. I'd seen Night of the Living Dead, but that freaked me out. Like, it just traumatized me. I was like, ugh. It was just something about the aesthetic that freaked me the fuck out. Maybe I had been a life and been somebody. I don't know. But it wasn't something that I could, to this day, I can't, I mean, I can watch Day of the Dead, the George Romero, or I can watch, Black Summer. Black Summer, by the way, it's a series on Netflix. I don't like Netflix, but they left Chappelle's thing up, which does he does toe the coof line, so to speak, but he really pokes holes in the agenda, and he's very powerful with his words. I have Netflix like 1 month, and then I let it go. I pause it, and I'll go a couple months, and I will see what they're releasing, and then I will get it for a month. They have the rights to Seinfeld, and I don't have DVDs of Seinfeld, and I like the humor in Seinfeld. So last night I fell asleep playing Seinfeld because it's funny. George Costanza is pathetic. Kramer is insane, but in a good way. Jerry is the straight man. Newman, it's very funny. I like humor. I love Steve Martin. Steve Martin is a great banjo player, by the way. I saw him on Tiny Desk Unit. Boy, he can wail. Also, if you remember, Let's Get Small, when he comes out with the white suit and he's got the bunny ears on, that's really funny. He does the shark bites, Robin Williams. My theory, this is what happened to me when he died. I got in the car, it was early in the morning, and the radio said that Robin Williams had died of autoerotic asphyxiation. And I knew what that was. A couple years before he died, he made a movie called The World's Greatest Dad, or World's Greatest Father. And the plot line is that a father catches his son doing that, choking himself during masturbation and trying to cut off the oxygenated blood to the brain. It supposedly gives you a much more intense orgasm. And his son later accidentally kills himself, so the father writes a fake suicide note. They changed the story of Robin Williams instantly. Like within an hour, the radio was saying that he committed suicide, and that's my belief. Or he was killed for some reason. Ridley Scott's brother, Tom Scott, he did a movie called The Hunger with Catherine Deneuve and David Bowie. It's one of my favorite vampire movies. Tom Scott did Bad Boys. He did Enemy of the State. And I think in 2012 he jumped off a bridge in California. And he was probably going to make a movie about something that happened in 2001. I know that a lot of people in the entertainment industry, they hobnob with people like Aaron Russo did about the Federal Reserve and the plans that were being made that he revealed in the film Freedom to Fascism in 2007. He was having a conversation with a Rockefeller person, and they were saying, they were real drunk, and they were like, we're gonna put people in camps, we're gonna chip them, and we're gonna vaccinate them and all this stuff. And it's all in the movie Freedom to Fascism. Everything that is happening now, back in 2006, 2007, it's all in that movie. Pretty much. You can write it down. Remember George Bush said that on the airplane in 2000? He said, we're going to win this election. You can write it down. Yes. Now there's a scene in the movie Catch-22 where one of the what's his name? Art Garfunkel, I think he is. He's having a conversation with an Italian man, and the Italian man says, "Do you think the United States will live forever?" No. Catch-22 is one of my all-time favorite movies. 2001. Harold and Maude. Papillon, the original Papillon, not the remake, the 2016 movie. That movie is garbage. I cannot believe they remade Papillon. That is such a disgusting thing to do. It's ridiculous that they would remake Papillon. What? What a stupid thing to do. What a foolish insult to such a great film. Papillon is about freedom. I'm still here, fuckers. Yeah. It's about freedom. Being brave enough to choose freedom. It's really the simple message. I saw it at the theater in the early 70s. My dad took me to see a lot of great movies. He took me to see Tora, Tora, Tora. He took me to see 2001. My mom took me to see Harold and Maude. And I don't know, it was like 1980 or 1979. And there was a theater in Georgetown, D.C. called The Biograph. And they showed old films. They showed Marx Brothers and stuff like that. And she took me to see Harold and Maude with my grandmother. My mom, my grandmother, and me, her mother. And I was like, this movie's going to be terrible. With a title like Harold and Maude. I'd seen Star Wars and all this stuff, Alien. So I left the movie. I was crying because it taught me a lesson. Number one, don't make an assumption based on a title. Always give everything a chance. And I do. I give everything a chance. I give everything a chance. And I can figure out for myself whether or not I like it. I don't need to be told by somebody. The film Harold and Maude is really a beautiful, beautiful story. And At the end of the movie, I'm not sure whether he was still in the car and that was his spirit playing the banjo up at the top of the cliff. I don't know. And I don't want to answer it. Harold and Maude is a great film. Check it out if you can. I guess it'll be erased. I guess they're going to erase that along with One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest and a whole bunch of really great cinema that's been made, along with books. Now, right now, logistically, they have a hard time getting rid of books because it takes people to go into these libraries and remove them. One of my favorite books is called Johnny Got His Gun. It was written in 1938 by Dalton Trumbo, who also, I think he did the screenplay for, I don't know, there's a couple screenplays he did, but he was labeled a communist. Johnny Got His Gun is basically a narrative, a thought narrative of a veteran laying in a hospital bed. He can't see, he can't hear, can't smell, he can't talk. And it's his whole thought process. And there's not one comma in the whole book. There's no commas. And you have to read the whole book to read the last sentence. And it's one of the beginning of the book. They are sawing off his arm from gangrene. And he's thinking, he could tell somehow, I don't know how he described how he knew his arms were being sawed off, or his arm, but he was thinking about how he held his girlfriend with his arms and how he missed his girlfriend before the war. And basically it's about the cost of war and the betrayal of those who lay their lives on the line for banks. And it really tears that whole God and country thing apart, really rips it apart and exposes the lies of war. The book was removed from libraries after it was published. World War II, Korea, Vietnam. Copies of it became very, very, very prevalent in the 60s. The book was very important to the anti-war movement. And I think that it's very, very relevant, and it's a timeless work of art and tragedy and power. So I suggest Johnny Got His Gun. Metallica made a song called One. The video is, they use footage from the movie. Timothy Bottoms is in the movie. The movie is it doesn't really go into the depth the book goes. And it couldn't, I don't think. But Metallica has a song called One. And that's loosely based, or it's based on Dalton Trumbo's book. Let's see. I don't know. I listen to Frank Zappa every day. I like Frank. Watermelon and Easter Hay is a great song. It's on Joe's Garage. Joe's Garage was about the central scrutinizer, about everything being controlled by a central computer. That's what Frank Zappa was warning us about, and here it is. We're in it now. Here we are. Well, I guess that's it. I'm going to end this stream. I don't know what else to say. Don't go in the boxcar. How about that? Don't eat anything bigger than your head. Do not comply. Love your family, friends. Respect each other, love each other. And thanks for listening and watching all these years.